everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am kind of on the hunt to try to find a replacement for the iconic Dior Airflash Foundation. So recently I found out that Dior was discontinuing this foundation. I first read about it on a Reddit thread, and then I went researching it on Google, and my friend Gabe from Gabe Loves Makeup, he actually works with Dior, and he confirmed that they are discontinuing it. From what I understand, there's multiple reasons for it. It sounds like the packaging is not really that cost efficient, plus it's not environmentally sustainable. There's multiple reasons. I've been kind of hearing that they've been wanting to get rid of it since 2005. So I guess we're kind of lucky it's been around this long. I don't know. Even though I have had a hard time finding the right shade in this foundation, I recently found the right combination. So I mix 3 warm olive and 4 warm olive, and they're a good match. But even though I struggled trying to find the right shade in this foundation, this has been a holy grail for me. It's one of those foundations that I keep in my arsenal when I really need my makeup to be locked and loaded, especially when I'm in Florida. Like, that's the foundation that I take when I'm gonna go out to dinner and I'm gonna be out in the humidity and the heat, or if I'm, going for the day, whatever, and I know I'm gonna be out in the heat for several hours. It's been one of those foundations that's very dependable for me, especially in the summer. And I also love it on those special occasions. When you need your makeup to be right, that's the foundation I reach for. I've had so many people tell me that that was the foundation that they wore on their wedding day, and it has a special place in their heart because of that. With that said, if this is your holy grail foundation, I will leave some links in the description box down below of places to pick it up. I don't know if they still have stock. I know that a lot of people are kind of rushing to grab what's left, but I will leave those in the description box down below in case you want to stock up and they might have your shade left. In yesterday's video, when I was doing a full face of makeup, I told you that I had this foundation in stock. So this is the Era Everyday. And the reason why I bought this, funny enough, if you guys don't know, I'm a super fan of housewives of every city. And I have noticed that they have used the housewives to kind of promote this brand and this Aerobrush foundation. And that was the reason why it come on across my radar. So I'd never even heard of it until I saw them using the Housewives franchise and the Housewives to promote it. So I bought it a couple of months ago, and I've just never gotten to trying it out. It's just been sitting over there in the bin of foundations to try. When I heard that Dior was completely discontinuing this, I thought, well, maybe I should try it and test it to see how it compares to this Dior Airflash. So that is what we're doing in today's video, you guys. I have the Dior Airflash on this side, and I have the Era Everyday on this side. I went deep diving for an aerosol foundation, and they're not that popular. I do remember trying the Sephora one. Sephora had their own, and I hated that foundation. It just did not look very good, and it didn't perform nearly as good as the Dior Airflash. I tried that foundation about 2 years ago. So when I went deep diving trying to find another aerosol foundation, I clicked on that one on the Sephora website, and it looks like they're also discontinuing that. So they don't have that many shades left in stock. It looks like they're slowly kind of getting rid of that as well. So this is the only one that I have found. If you guys find any more aerosol foundations that you want me to test, please put them in the comment section down below, and I will definitely start testing them next to the Airflash. And I'm also going to be very picky when it comes to finding an alternative for the Airflash, because the Airflash is just a ride or die of mine. I'm not really happy about them getting rid of it, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get into a little bit of the details on this foundation from Era Everyday. The crappy part about this foundation is they don't have a lot of shades. So the Dior Airflash has a lot of shades, and Dior has always really done a good job about having a good shade range, but this one does not have a very good shade range. I'm kind of hoping that they will launch more shades. If they see that the Dior Airflash is out, maybe that will entice them to launch more shades so they can provide more shades for a wider variety of skin complexions. The Era Face Spray-On Foundation is the original patented formula and delivery system that brought spray-on cosmetics to the market. It's found on movie sets and runways the world over because of its long-lasting buildable coverage. Get the flawless airbrush look for your daily routine. So it's Medi Spa levels of vitamins and botanicals. It's water resistant and transfer resistant. Coverage that lasts all day. It's a flawless full coverage. It covers tattoos, scars, and veins. You can also try the foundation risk-free. I think you can buy it and then you can send it back within like a 60-day period to get your full money back if you don't love it. So how does this compare to the Dior? Actually, there's a lot of similarities between the Dior and this Era Everyday. The Dior is an ultra fluid, water resistant foundation that blends full coverage with a lightweight formula, providing airbrush perfection up to 12 hours. It is claiming to be full coverage, but you guys, I have never gotten full coverage out of this. You really have to use quite a bit. So before I move on to how they compare, I will say that this Era Everyday gave me pretty immediate full coverage, whereas this one from Dior, I had to use more to get it to that good medium coverage. So just FYI, I did not have to use as much with this one. I ended up buying the smaller size of this. That's the reason why the can looks much smaller. So this one is 1.5 ounces worth of product, and I paid $30 for this. I actually bought two shades. I have Golden Caramel Y7 and I have Summer Wheat Y5. Large size of this one, you get 2.25 ounces worth of product for $55, whereas the Dior Airflash, you get 2.3 fluid ounces for $62. So you definitely save money by buying the Era Everyday versus the Dior Airflash. Pretty much both the same as far as claims go. They both claim to be full coverage, which I would not say the Airflash is full coverage. They're both claiming to be water and sweat and transfer resistant, which I have experienced that myself with the Airflash. So there are some comparisons and there are some similarities between these two. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna see how these two foundations compare and if this is a nice alternative for the Airflash going bye-bye. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the application. I will see you guys all in my check-ins. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into applying these foundations and comparing them. I have two of the jumbo base brushes from Sonia G. This is one of my favorite brushes. They're both clean and we're gonna use it. Typically when I apply the Airflash foundation, I just spray it directly on the brush and then kind of build from there. And then I like to go in with a dampened sponge and kind of push it into the skin. So I have a couple of sponge here ready to go. We're just gonna jump into this. I'm excited. So we have Golden Caramel Y7 and Summer Wheat Y5. Okay, so Summer Wheat is light. Why is that so light? Does that look like the same color to you? No, 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 no. So that's Golden Caramel. That's probably gonna be a better shade for me. This one's definitely quite golden, the Y7. At least it's a decent enough shade for me to test it. Now that we got the shades figured out, let's go ahead and dive into this. So I'm gonna give this a good shake and I'm gonna spray. This is the Dior Airflash. And mixed the shades 311 and 4 Warm Olive. I think 311 is 3 Warm Olive, if I'm not mistaken. That's the color that I get. So let's go ahead and apply this one on this side. It has a funny smell. Can't put my finger on it. Now I can tell right away that I think it has more coverage off the bat than the Dior. So the Dior, I've always had to kind of build it a little bit to get like a good medium coverage. Am I like dreaming? But I think this looks really pretty. Dare I say that this side looks better? And this looks really smooth and really pretty over like my orange peel. In fact, I'm gonna stop talking, and before I do, I want you guys to focus right here along this area. And I'm going to zoom in close so you guys can see it, but I'm going to hold really still. And I want you guys to see this side and how it looks compared to this side. We might have found a winner. We might have found a winner with this one. Okay, so my makeup is done. I threw on just a tiny bit of makeup. I wanted to mention the only powder that I put on was a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury right here. I used the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter just right here in this area, but I did not powder the entire face with like translucent setting powder or anything. I didn't want to disrupt kind of the wear test of both of these foundations, so I didn't powder anywhere else, only except for right here. These are looking very similar. And I almost feel like this side's looking a little better than this side. Right now it is 12:37. So I'm gonna go about the rest of my day. I will take you guys outside for a midday check-in, zoom you guys in close, let you guys see both sides of each of the foundations. So I will see you guys all in my next check-in. Okay, so I wanted to pop out here and show you guys how the foundations are looking. It is currently almost 6 o'clock, so I've had it on for about 6 hours now. I have noticed I'm quite shiny. I was looking in the mirror before I popped on camera, and I'm definitely shiny, especially in the T-zone area. Typically when I wear the Airflash, I do like to apply some setting powder. So just keep that in mind if you are combo leaning oily. It seems like both of these foundations you might need to put some powder on. Let's zoom in. So let's zoom in on the forehead. So this is the Dior side. This is the Era Everyday. This is the Dior side. And then this is the Era Everyday side. I can tell you they're looking pretty similar, right? What I am noticing is that I just feel a little bit more hydrated. So I'm wondering if I need to wear maybe a different primer with this or something that might control my oils a little better. I'm not sure, but I really like the way that both of them are wearing. They're both wearing really well. And I was waiting for my dog to come and say hi. Sometimes he gets ticked off when I... Oh, so there's my Rowdy. He is not happy that he can't come outside with me. He's like, wait, what the heck's going on? She left me. He always likes to make an appearance. There he is. Say hi, Rowdy. Can you say hi? He's like, well, this is absolute BS, Mom. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and wear these throughout the rest of the day. I think I might wear it one more day. This has been a good day to test them, but I kind of want to wear it for another day. And I also forgot that I have a primer from Era Everyday. It's the Airbrush primer. I actually think I'm going to do it one more day where I test the primer, see if that help controls the oils a little bit. And then we'll kind of go from there. But I don't know that I can just say that this is for sure an alternative. Just based on wearing it for one day, I feel like I need to wear it for another day. So that's it for this check-in. I will see you guys in my next check-in. So I just came into my filming studio to do a quick 12-hour check-in on this foundation. It's 12:45 p.m. So we're getting close to the 12-hour mark, but I wanted to zoom you guys in, show you guys how these are wearing. Noticing in my monitor that I've lost some of the coverage along my nose, right along here on both sides. So seems like they're both wearing very similar. This is the Dior side and this is the Era Beauty. So I've been calling it Era Every Day, and I didn't realize, even though it says Era Every Day, that's not the brand name. The brand name is Aero Beauty, so PS. Anyway, let's go ahead and zoom in. So this is the Dior side. It looks like I've lost a little bit something right here, but I've maintained the coverage pretty good along here. And then this is the Aero Beauty side. It looks like right here I was noticing it started to crease, but that could be my concealer and not necessarily the foundation. But you can see I've lost most of the coverage right along my nose on both sides, so that's very similar. So I want you guys to notice this on the forehead. It looks like I've lost most of the coverage here on the Dior side, but it's because I've been doing this. You can see where my hair is parted. I've been doing this and not so much on this side. So that's probably a good reason why I've lost most of it here. I am looking quite shiny, but like I said, I do get a better wear overall with the Dior Airflash if I powder it. I've always needed to powder it. It's more radiant, right? It is a radiant finish. So because of that, I always have a better experience with the Dior Airflash, kind of locked and loaded experience when I do kind of set it with setting powder. This is the primer I was talking about in my 6-hour check-in. So this is the Aerobrush primer. So I'm gonna try this. And I'm going to try it on both sides and see if it helps to maintain it. And also I'm going to powder it so I'm not so shiny, because that's probably my biggest complaint about both of them is I'm quite shiny. But like I said, I do experience that with the Dior if I don't set it with setting powder. So that's it for this quick check-in. I will see you guys in the morning when we're going to do a second day application, trying out the primer, setting it with powder, and then we're going to do wear tests. And in tomorrow night's 12-hour check-in, I will get into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. All right, day 2, let's go ahead and jump into it. So like I said yesterday, I am going to try the Aerobrush primer. Primer retails for $40. So it's described as a illuminating and smoothing base, but it can also be used as a color transformer. Not sure how that works, but it's an all-in-one airbrush primer for lashes, lid, skin, and lips. That's interesting. Brightens and smooths skin, helps makeup last longer and look better. Gentle daily dose of vitamins and botanicals, and it is oil-free. I'm gonna give it a good shake. Okay, so I'm just gonna spray it all over the face. Ooh! Okay, so do you see that white cast? It kind of, that's how it looks when you spray it. And that's how you feel when you spray it. It's like, ooh, kind of gives a little bit of a bubbly sensation for a second, but I think we're good. It's dried though, like it feels like it's dried and kind of set down. So that's out of the way. Let's move on to the foundations. I have the same brushes. I just kept the brush that I used for the Dior next to the Dior can, and the brush I used for the Aero Beauty next to the can. I'm gonna mix the 4 warm olive with the 3 warm olive, and I'm gonna put it on this side, and I'm gonna put the Aero Beauty on this side. So you can kind of see what I'm saying about the coverage from the Dior. So I would say this is a light medium coverage. It's not quite a full medium coverage yet. I do have to build this foundation to kind of get it there. Not all over the face, but just kind of in the areas that I need the extra coverage. But with the Era Every Day, I didn't feel like I needed to build it at all. It took like just a little bit of product and I got pretty immediate coverage. However, I'm not surprised by that because it does claim to cover scars and tattoos and all of that. And typically when you have a foundation that has those kinds of claims, then you're probably going to have better coverage. The thing with the Dior that you have to be careful with, even though it's in an aerosol and it's super natural, it's really not one that's super forgiving over like the orange peel area or any of the texture if you get it too thick. So you don't want to apply too much of it. So I only build it up a little bit in the areas that I feel like I need it. but I try not to build up too much coverage. It does have a tendency to look a little bit thick and heavy in certain areas. So kind of keep that in mind when it comes to the Airflash. That shade's a little too dark for me, but I mean, don't get me wrong, my face is much lighter than my body, so I do try to darken it a little bit, but this is definitely a little dark. But I'm gonna put 2 sprays of the Era Beauty and just go from there. Definitely don't need to use as much with the Era every day. I mean, that's pretty much applied. I feel like it dries much faster than the Dior. So I went ahead and did my brows. I put on some concealer on my eyelids and also under here. Right now it is 11:39. So I'm gonna try to wear this as long as I can. I may not be able to get it to the full 12 hours, but I'm gonna do my very best to at least do 10 to 12. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of here and finish the rest of my makeup. I will see you guys in my next daylight check-in. Okay everyone, I am back for a midday check-in on these 2 foundations for day 2. So it's currently 6:30. It's currently 6:34. So I've had it on for, I think, right around 6 hours, right? I think I put this on at like 12:30. I did put some setting powder on both sides, just put setting powder all over the face. So my dog's in the window, but I wanted to go ahead and zoom in on both of the foundations. This side is the Dior side and this side is the Era Beauty. So let's, day 2 and he's still in the window. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in. So let's zoom in on the forehead. So this is the Dior side. This is the Era Beauty side. And then this is the Dior side. And then this is the Era Everyday side. And then this is the center of the face. Looks like I've lost a little bit of the coverage right around my nose, but it still looks really good in the center of the forehead. I don't know that the primer has really helped all that much, but we'll see. From my experience with the Dior Airflash, powder always makes it more dependable. So it stays more locked and loaded with powder. I don't know that the primer is going to make that much of a difference, but I'll definitely continue to wear the primer and maybe wear it with other foundations to see how it wears. But I definitely wanted to try it today and see if it made a difference. But so far, I feel like my makeup looks still pretty good. I really wouldn't say that it's changed a lot. We'll see how it wears later on this evening, and I will do a 10 to 12 hour check-in. In that 10 to 12 hour check-in, I will get into my final thoughts and let you guys know if I feel like this Era Beauty is a nice alternative to the Dior Airflash, because that's truly what we're looking for. So that's it for this quick check-in. I will see you guys all later on this evening in my final thoughts. Okay everyone, I am back to do a quick check-in on these 2 foundations, and I still have the camera off of the tripod so that I can zoom you guys in real close. So as soon as we get done with the zoom ins, I will put it back on the larger tripod and I will jump into my final thoughts. So right now it is currently 11:12. So I'm just a little bit shy of 12 hours. It's about what it was yesterday. It's about 11 to 12 hour wear test. And you can see that I'm looking a little bit better today than I did yesterday. And I truly believe that's because of the powder. Translucent setting powder always works better with the Airflash, but let's go ahead and zoom in. So again, this is the Dior side and this is the Era Beauty side. So let's zoom in on the Dior side. Let's do the forehead. Again, I do have that spot kind of faded a little bit. And again, it's because I'm doing this with my hair. Okay, same part as it was yesterday. This is the Dior side and it still looks pretty good. You can see I've lost a little bit of the coverage like right around here. It's faded a little bit. I'm looking a little bit dewy, a little bit, but It's not bad. You can see I've lost it all around my nose, just like I did yesterday. And then this is the Aero Beauty side. And I still feel like the Aero Beauty, I maintain the coverage better than the Dior. So that is the one thing that I'm noticing right off the bat, that Aero Beauty offers more coverage and it lasts longer than the Dior. Shades are a little too dark for me, so they're obviously going to show some of the wear, more so than if the shade matched my complexion. So that's it for this check-in. Let's go ahead and jump into my final thoughts. I want to first, let's just start off right off the bat. I do think that this Aero Beauty Aerobrush foundation will be a nice alternative to the Dior Airflash. The Dior Airflash is gone, so it's kind of a reality that we all have to accept. That's just at the end of the day, that's the reality. But at the end of the day, this needs more shades. I might mix these two shades and continue to wear it and give you guys an update later on and let you guys know if I'm still liking it. I do like the way that it looks, maybe even a little bit more than the Dior. Might look a little more flawless because it provides more coverage, way more than the Dior. So the Dior, if you want to build up the coverage, you're going to have to use more product. But with this, it's got enough coverage from the gate that you don't have to use as much, which I kind of feel like is the best of both worlds, especially if you're older and you do have more mature skin, or you have more texture or wrinkles, or the orange pill situation going on, enlarged pores, all of that. The less product you use, the better off you're going to be. And so typically you're gonna, if you have those kinds of struggles, you're gonna want something that's really pigmented and that you don't have to use as much. So overall, I really like this foundation. I do hope that they will widen their shade range, because the shade range is not the best. 10 shades is just not gonna cut it. From what I understand, this brand's been around for a while, so I don't know why they have not added more shades. Maybe now that the Dior Airflash is being discontinued, maybe more people will buy this and they will have a need to provide more shades. Just never know. But overall, I really like the foundation. I do. I think it is a really nice option. The other thing that I like about it is that not only is it more affordable than the Airflash, but they offer the mini size. So this is the mini size for $30, or you can get the full size for $55. So I do like that they offer a smaller size, and it's kind of a risk-free option where you can buy it. If you don't like it, you can send it back for a full refund. I really like that. It's kind of just security, knowing that if you don't like something, you don't have to keep it. Those are my overall thoughts. Sound off down below. I'm really curious, is this the first you've heard of this Aero Beauty Aerobrush foundation? Or have you guys seen it on Instagram like I did? I'm just curious. Sound off down below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.